Cindy Eckard is a Maryland parent who has spearheaded legislation in her state that aims to create medically sound safety guidelines for the use of digital devices in public schools. Her op-eds have appeared in the Baltimore Sun, the Washington Post, and BAM Radio Network's blog, EdWorks. Tonight, Cindy is going to join us from Maryland via Skype, and we'll be talking about her experience with the legislative process regarding screen safety guidelines in schools.
My own involvement started with my parent-teacher conference when I sat down with all the teachers and I learned how much screen time my children were spending at school. My career goes back into the 80s, where even back then we knew the dangers of using digital devices. I insisted, for instance, on a window seat so that I could look long distances and take lots of breaks. So I said, of course, there are guidelines in place for this. And everybody looked at me. And I said, oh, no, no, no. Of course, there are safety guidelines. These are kids. And these issues have been known for decades. Silence. So I went to the state board and I said, you have guidelines. Maybe the local jurisdiction doesn't know about this, but you guys certainly do. Oh, no, they said, this is a local issue. So back to the schools I went and got no satisfaction. There was no understanding of the risks that the children face. We went then to the state legislature last year and tried to get something done, but we got a late start because of the timing of the parent-teacher conference. After a year's worth of study, it became more and more alarming to me as a parent that these devices were not totally checked out, that a risk analysis wasn't done before they were distributed to little kids and older kids. The risks are serious. They start with myopia, which is epidemic in our country and around the world. The next risk is retinal damage. The blue light that's emitted from these screens is extremely dangerous, particularly to children. As adults, the pigment in our eye provides a little bit of protection from that blue light. A child has none. The blue light from these screens are going straight into the back of that eye and damaging cells permanently. The other issue that's going on with the screens is all of us blink 66% less often when we're online. So a kid is actually staring right into that blue light that's damaging his retina. He's not going to get those cells back. It's permanent and it's cumulative. So when you consider a kindergarten child on 5 years old all the way through graduation staring at screens, you can begin to understand the damage we're looking at. The other issues are obesity because of lack of exercise, and also sleeplessness, which is linked to obesity. The sleeplessness is really playing havoc with our kids because the blue light is suppressing the melatonin that enables the child to fall asleep. A sleepy child doesn't concentrate, is irritable, has a lot more trouble in school, and also becomes depressed. Kids get hyper, and so the sleeplessness is actually being misdiagnosed as ADHD. There's a whole universe of health issues revolving around these computers. The kids can't put them down, and the schools themselves are adding to that problem. So what do you do as a parent? I went to the General Assembly. We got 26 co-sponsors for our House bill, and we raised awareness. We got the Medical Society of Maryland to endorse this bill. For the first time, we also got the American Academy of Pediatrics to back us up because they have only been addressing entertainment screen time in the home. This time, the Maryland chapter said, no, we need regulations in our classrooms. So as a parent moving forward, I will be talking with the Department of Health for the state of Maryland. I have found that it is really already their responsibility, and I will hold them accountable. Schools are not doctors, and these are serious health risks. So it's the health department's feet we need to hold to the fire. As regards the schools, the first things that parents really need to do is get a full accountability of the amount of time their child is required to be online at school. They are very, very hesitant to share that information, and it's key. Once you see how much your child is online and you weigh that against the risks, you too will become an advocate